Good morning. Sun is right in my face. This will be quick. It's just after 8 o'clock, but the time just changed, so it feels like it's just after 7. It's not too early, but it's a little early for me right now. I am heading off to my first visit to the bins. So it's not quite an hour. It says it's about 45 minutes to get to the Goodwill outlet. So I'm gonna head down there, see if I can find anything to resell. Okay, I'm not sure what to expect at all. I don't know if I'm allowed to film inside either, so we'll go on in. We'll shop around, figure out what all this is about. I've picked out a few books, some books in a few sets that looked promising, and now I'm going to sort through them a little bit, do some comping, see if I want to keep them all. I didn't want to drive all this way just to do the bins. I wanted to have something else to try out as well. I stopped at an estate sale that was a little bit farther of a drive down the road. And this is the second day. They started the estate sale yesterday, and so it was 25% off everything today. The reason I chose this one was because the bathroom photo looked like it had some bath items. So we'll go try to check that out and hopefully find something. And now we're going to have to walk through an eerily silent estate sale because they were blasting music that is going to get me a copyright strike. All right, this was the bathroom that I saw in the photos on the listing, and unfortunately it looks like all the good stuff I saw is gone. Sorry, it's the next day. I was so tired after driving to the bins and then driving to that estate sale and then getting home and having to do some pack and ship. It was just a couple of orders, but I still had to do it, and happy for the orders, but I was absolutely exhausted. All that driving makes me so tired. And as much as I like going and checking out new places, it's a little nerve-wracking trying to find my way around places I don't know. And then it's exhausting doing all that driving. So when I got home and did my pack and ship drop off at the post office and then went home and crashed out. So this is my wrap up thoughts about the bins. It was very interesting and I'm so glad I did it. It was a great learning experience. I'm sorry that there wasn't much footage only got a few minutes worth of, maybe like a couple minutes of in the actual warehouse, and I didn't get any pictures of me like digging in the bins. So I ended up, you saw I got like 30 pounds worth of books. It was not a cart full, but a good amount of books. I did that because after sort of looking around and watching them bring out new bins and people, you know, going straight for the new bins and seeing there wasn't much coming out of those. And the clothing, I did a little bit of like looking through the clothing, and nothing looked great. I did end up with that one pair of shorts, but it didn't look like really great brands. And with clothing, I'm learning that I can get really behind on it if I just have piles and piles of clothing. And then if I don't look carefully, condition can be a real problem. So I'm trying to hone in on best brands for clothing, and like new with tags. If it's sort of the Target, Old Navy brands, those can be really good and sell really quickly, but really only if they're new with tags. So I like those as well. But if it's used clothing, it really has to be, it seems like, really good brands and really high quality stuff. So I'm kind of trying to hone in on that and not just pile up the clothes because there's so much of it available. So I saw all the book bins at the back, and yes, the book scanners were there. I watched them doing their book scanning as they were either waiting for new bins to come out, or maybe they just do book scanning and then they search through the other bins later. So I saw they'd picked through it, but the books, since they were only 69 cents a pound, that's a thing. But like if everywhere I went, I could just pay like 69 cents a pound for books, I'd buy a lot more books. I just decided I would try to dig through those bins, and there were people all around me doing the same even at that point. So I didn't film myself digging, and then I was trying to comp some things quickly to see if it was worth looking for more in a set. So there were 3 sets, I believe, that I found a bunch of books in the set. They're sort of nonfiction information books. What I'm going to do is, if they sell, I'm going to show you guys what I got and what they sold for, because they may not sell. But when I would see ones, I would comp it quickly and say, oh, it looks like some of these sell on eBay, especially in sets, so maybe let me dig for more. And so I would dig for more. And that's kind of what I went with. So if the Goodwill outlet was in my town or nearby, like within 20-minute drive, I think I would put it into my rotation as like, if there aren't any estate sales or the yard sales were really bad, like they were bad for me this last Saturday, I would put that into my rotation. Like, let's go check out the outlet and see if I can find anything to fill the gaps, because it wasn't that much good stuff. And I don't know if you can tell from the footage, but to me it seems small, much smaller than the places I've seen with the big blue bins or with the big cardboard boxes that people dig into. They were these like smaller bins, it looked like to me, and the building wasn't that huge. So to drive almost an hour there and use the gas and take time that I could be investing in some other way doesn't seem worth it to me. So I may go again, or what I probably will do first is I'm going to investigate some other cities nearby that are maybe like an hour and a half away where I've been before, and see if there's anything really good. Usually do my best with rummage sales, as you know, that I love, or like an estate sale that looks really promising with lots of good photos. Just have to spend more when you go to the estate sale. Speaking of estate sales, I then went another like 25-minute drive to get to the estate sale I went to. And as you saw, I had seen in the picture, the bathroom had some stuff, and I filmed the bathroom while I was there, that it looked like it had been picked over. In fairness, I was there at like noon on the second day. So that tells you probably the prices weren't too bad, because the place was pretty picked over. A lot of stuff was gone. And I did buy a couple things. But I don't think that was worth it. And especially for the added time it gave me to come when I had to come back. But I had to investigate some things because I was running low on inventory, and I think it was definitely worth the learning experience, and now I don't have to repeat that anytime soon. I think I'll try to find some other things, other ways to source that might be more fruitful instead of going to those. Definitely not down that far to an estate sale, but maybe the bins again in the future if I need to find some more stuff, and especially if any of the books turn out well. I'm skeptical, but if I can get my money back and maybe make a little profit, I think I'll be happy with it because of me just doing as best I could and fighting a little bit of the anxiety of, like, I was trying to film a little bit and didn't want to get in trouble, and also I kind of know how this works, but I've never experienced this before, and it just had to work through that and try to find some stuff, which hopefully I did. So I hope you enjoyed the little bit of my first visit to the bins that I got to show you. And I don't know, do you go to the bins regularly? Is yours really good? Is it bigger? Does it have amazing stuff? What do you find when you go to the bins? Is there something I should keep an eye out for that you tend to see at the bins that maybe I don't know about and I can keep an eye out if I go back in the future? Thanks for watching, and like I said, I hope you enjoyed it, that little first time trip to the bins, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.